Today we got Superman, one of the strongest heroes in the DC universe, taking on Apocalypse, one of the X-Men's greatest villains. Who's coming out top? Let's find out. Rocketed to Earth as an entrant from the doomed planet Krypton, Kal-El was adopted by the loving Kent family, raised in America's heartland as Clark Kent. Using his immense solar shield powers, he became Superman to defend mankind against all manner of threats while championing truth, justice, and the American way. Superman is arguably the strongest hero in the DC universe, and has performed some truly incredible feats of strength, even helping to move the entire Earth before alongside Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. He's also held a miniature black hole in his hands before, destroyed moons and planets, and has beaten down beings like Darkseid and Doomsday. Superman has the ability to move much faster than light. He's able to travel across the known universe in days, as opposed to light years. In battle, Clark can move so fast, he's able to land hundreds of strikes in just a few seconds. In his mind, it's just as fast too. In the process, understand vast amounts of information almost instantaneously. Superman is one of the most durable beings in existence, able to withstand bullets, missiles, bombs, and man-made weapons without a scratch. In fact, you're more likely to hurt yourself by punching Superman than actually hurting him. Also taking attacks on people like Martian Manhunter, Superboy Prime, Mongol, Doomsday, Despero, Darkseid, and others. Even surviving direct exposure to his weaknesses like kryptonite or flying through a red sun. Superman has limitless stamina, as long as he's exposed to yellow sun radiation, and his body also emits a gravitational field that enables him to defy gravity and fly at faster than light speeds. Kal-El is able to suck in large amounts of air into his lungs, then create a strong gust of wind with it, able to control the temperature which expels this wind, resulting in his freeze breath. Superman also is able to convert stored solar energy to beam to thermal energy that makes a temperature comparable to stars. He is a capable fighter, and has knowledge of boxing, brawling, and pressure points. But he's by no means an expert fighter, instead relying on his incredible powers to win the fight. So, as we got one corner, one of the most iconic superheroes ever, Superman. But, entering the ring, at the corner, well, it's one of the X-Men's greatest foes, Apocalypse. One of the very first mutants, Apocalypse is both thousands of years old and a monstrous tyrant that has been a long time foe of the X-Men. Apocalypse believes that only the strongest should survive, whether that be mutant or superhuman. His body is a mix of organics and powerful celestial technology. One of the most powerful mutants who have ever lived. One of the most powerful beings who's ever walked the face of the earth. He was already a powerful mutant, but then he merged with celestial technology, which greatly amplified his powers that he already had and gave him new ones. And this guy's a ton of powers. It's literally just like someone was coming up with a villain for the X-Men, so had to give this guy every power imaginable. Apocalypse possesses vast physical strength on par with Thor and Hulk, and durability to withstand powerful energy attacks, explosions, the full force of Cyclops' optic beams, and Black Bolt's shout. He can also increase his strength and durability to virtually infinite levels, because he can take on more mass from a different dimensional source, or draw upon different energy sources. There is no limit to how much energy Apocalypse can draw from this extra dimensional source, so thus there's no real limit to his physical strength. Apocalypse has complete control over the entire molecular structure of his body, and can do basically anything that he wants. He's turned his limbs into weapons like axes, hammers, swords, shields, tentacles, and even plasma cannons and guns of bullets, and swarm mechanical wings or rocket-propelled booster jets in order to fly. He'll grow multiple limbs, stretch his body similar to Mr. Fantastic, increase or decrease his size and mass, and he has a powerful healing factor. Like I said, Apocalypse has access to a near infinite amount of extra-dimensional energy, and he can use energy for other things besides just increasing his strength. He's able to unleash powerful raw energy blasts from his eyes and hands, can create nearly impenetrable force fields, absorb an infinite amount of energy, infuse his own body of energy, make himself as fast as speedsters, and even blow himself up in a massive explosion only to reform using his shape-shifting powers. Apocalypse can fly at speeds over 6,000 miles per hour, teleport across the planet, and can interface, control, and even merge with various technology at disposal. He has above genius intellect in lots of different fields. Also tactical genius, unleashing plans that took hundreds of years to map out. Finally, Apocalypse is a powerful telepath and telekinetic. Create sonic shields, mind blast opponents, project himself onto the astral plane, and transfer his mind and body into a host. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Apocalypse is one of the X-Men's greatest enemies. Arguably their all-time greatest enemy, tied up there with Magneto. So he's obviously super powerful. One of the most powerful villains in the Marvel Universe. Well, today, we got him going up against one of the most powerful heroes in the DC Universe. Someone is able to fight against the likes of Darkseid and Doomsday on a consistent basis. That's right, Superman. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's break it down. And first, we're going to take a look at his strength and power. And Apocalypse has got plenty of that. He's gone up against Thor before, and hit him so hard that it should have removed his head from his spine, and headbutted him with so much power that it sent shockwaves out for miles. He's also gone up against the Hulk before, managed to restrain him and hold him down, to the point where Hulk couldn't escape. Actually, he'd ask Apocalypse to let him go. Pretty impressive if you ask me. However, there are some caveats for both of these two showings. For starters, Apocalypse went up against a young Thor. So young that he wasn't even worthy of Mjolnir. And so young Thor wasn't as strong or as durable as he is today. Throw Apocalypse up against a modern day Thor might be a different story. Though with the Hulk, well, Hulk was in a weird state of flux at the time where he was just at a base set of strength and couldn't get stronger the angrier he got, the hallmark of the character. So again, throw Apocalypse up against the real Hulk, and it might have been a different story. Definitely still impressive. I mean, Hulk and Thor are still Hulk and Thor regardless of what form they take. But not really enough to suggest that he's stronger than Superman. I mean, between Post-Crisis and New 52, Clark has shown 9. Count them, 9. Moon level or even planetary level feats of strength. He's held the moon back against the ancient force that was causing the moon to fall into the Earth. He's pulled the Earth alongside Green Lantern, pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter, pulled the moon alongside Wonder Woman and Green Lantern. He's moved the world into the Phantom Zone. He's moved both the Earth and the moon. And then more recently, he's bench pressed the weight of the Earth for 5 days straight. Only barely broke a sweat. Along with Martian Manhunter, prevented Brainiac's ship from crashing into the Earth, and the ship absolutely dwarfed the Earth. He's knocked out Mongol with just a few punches. He's knocked out Wonder Woman with one punch, sent her flying from the sun all the way back to Earth. He's punched Hell so hard it was far from the core of the planet all the way to outer space. And that's just casually taken Bizarro, tossed him out in space as well. And that's just naming a few. Considering that Superman has also injured people like Darkseid, Doomsday, Brainiac, and plenty more. He said himself before he's able to throw a punch hard enough to split apart the moon or shatter planets. And I personally believe that Superman would know his strength the best. Doesn't tend to lie or over-exaggerate. But if you don't want to believe Clark, maybe you'll believe Bruce. Because Batman seems pretty convinced that Superman could turn the moon into dust too. And it's not all just words either. Punch Wraith all the way to the moon and actually through the moon. Superman has even completely shattered a planet just by jumping off of it. Cracked half the moon with just a shockwave from one of his punches. And he split a small moon near Saturn completely in half. And there's the infamous feat where Clark destroyed a shadow moon by running into it at just under the speed of light. Superman's stronger. No question about it. Superman's also a whole lot faster. Now, Apocalypse has managed to tag Quicksilver before. He even said that Quicksilver's speed is all but useless against him. But Superman is leagues and leagues above Quicksilver when it comes to speed. Clark is so much faster that it's really not even funny. I mean, Clark has flown from the edge of the universe back to the Earth just 60 days, and the observable universe is 93 billion light years across. or at least momentarily keep up with Barry Allen and Wally West. And he's even outpaced Light Ray, a new god who is fast enough to circumnavigate Apocalypse thousands of times in a moment. He's reacted to both Barry and Wally moving faster than light speed. He's able to think faster than light speed, and he can measure time in microseconds, nanoseconds, and even all the way down to attoseconds. He's blitzed Wonder Woman, blitzed Ultraman, blitzed General Zod, Ursa, Bizarro, and landed over 4,000 punches on Doomsday in an instant. He's caught both Professor Zoom and the Flash before. Superman's the fastest one out of the two here. Absolutely no question about it. So then, finally, when you talk about durability, well, Apocalypse is incredibly durable, as he's regularly taking attacks on the X-Men, and even taking combined attacks on both the X-Men and the Inhumans at the same time. He's taken Cyclops' optic blast to the face, taking attacks on Cable and Strife, a clone of Cable who's regularly able to solo X-Men teams, taking blasts on the High Evolutionary, an Avengers-level threat, even taking full-on attacks from Thor, and just stood there like nothing had happened, also proving how durable his celestial armor is. And as that wasn't enough, Apocalypse also has incredible ability to manipulate his body down to the molecular level, and consistently exploits this power by splitting his body apart, creating holes in himself for attacks that simply just pass right on through. He also has an impressive healing factor, being able to heal from what should otherwise have been a fatal injury. And in fact, as long as a single drop of Apocalypse's blood remains, the techno-organic cells will just take over a body and regrow and reform Apocalypse. However, just like with strength and speed, gotta give the nod to Superman here. He's been kicked across the entire state of Utah and landed in Colorado, been punched from Metropolis to China, been punched from California to Tokyo, been thrown all the way to the moon, actually been hit to the moon on several occasions. He's survived an Empirix probe detonation, whereas Wonder Woman was knocked out by a similar blast. He's taken several blasts from Breach, he's able to one-shot Martian Manhunter. He's taken planetary destruction multiple times. While weakened in a pocket universe without a yellow sun, Superman was slammed into a planet with enough force that the shockwave went out and dwarfed the planet in comparison. He's had his mind sought to Bizarro, and so Clark ended up punching his own body through the earth, yet came to the other side just fine. Also met with the Claw of Horus, which draws upon the magnetic field of the earth, essentially like getting hit with the planet itself. He's even taken punches from Superboy Prime, flown through a field filled with kryptonite debris, flown right through a red sun, and kept on fighting against Prime. Also survived the collision between Apocalypse and New Genesis and the subsequent explosion. Superman is insanely durable. So yeah, Superman is physically superior here, which really isn't that hard to imagine. I mean, he's Superman. He's one of the most physically powerful heroes in all of comics. However, this does mean that if Apocalypse wants to win, he's going to rely on one of its other powers to get him there. And lucky for Apocalypse, he has a ton of other powers. Like we said, he's got complete control over his body down the molecular level, and is able to use his power to grow in size, create multiple arms, turn his arms, even his entire body, into a spike, create arm cannons, giant hammers, basically whatever he wants. Apocalypse is also able to fire Energy Blast, even Energy Blasts that have injured Thor and destroyed Sentinels. He's actually able to teleport, being a teleport around in battle. And last but not least, Apocalypse is one of the greatest telepaths in the Marvel Universe. In fact, he's so powerful that when battle against Jean Grey in a psychic battle, take full force attacks from Jean and reverse them, he's even psychically overpowered both Jean and Professor X before. So, in order for Superman to win, he's gotta find some way to overcome all that. And yeah, I'd say he can. Apocalypse's Energy Blast will hurt Superman, but they're not enough to permanently put him down, considering he's taken a whole lot more, kept on going. Apocalypse's molecular control won't really be an issue, because Superman is so durable that most things Apocalypse will be throwing at him won't be enough to beat him. I guess you could argue he tries to turn himself into forms that Superman can't injure, but at that point, it's really just delaying the inevitable. Then there's telepathy. And most people forget this, but Superman actually has remarkable durability to psychic attacks. Marshmanter's actually been kicked out of Superman's head before, and John said that Clark had always been difficult to read and psychically connect with. Cowles resisted Hector Hammond when Hammond was controlling all of Metropolis. When Brainiac was controlling the entire planet, he's even resisted and overpowered the emotional entity of Parallax. So he should be enough to at least hold off Apocalypse. And that's where we circle back around to Superman's physical superiority. Because if Apocalypse can't put Superman down quickly or through non-physical means, then he's got a major beating heading his way. Superman's a whole lot stronger, a whole lot faster, and a whole lot more durable. And that should be enough here to overcome Apocalypse. Superman wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also be sure the like button, subscribe button, turn notifications on the DanCo army, and I will see you next time.